Apura madam, please begin.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today we are gathered here on the virtual platform for the webinar on soft skill and virtual video interviews. This webinar is arranged by Computer Department of Parol Polytechnic Institute. Guest speaker of today's webinar is Mr. Rishi Karthik. He has completed his master's in mass media communication from Symbiosis International University. He is currently working as an associate creative director at Fox Sports Asia Mumbai. Mr. Karthik also worked as an executive producer at Sony Pictures Network India for 10 months. He was also on-air promotions producer at Star TV Network. Before that, he was working as a creative director at Noah Productions Private Limited for 5 years. So I can say that he has adequate knowledge and experience in the field. So now, without any further delay, I'd like to hand over this session to Rishi sir and request him to start the webinar.
Hi, thank you, Apurva, for the wonderful start. Uh, Hello, everyone. I am assured that there are going to be a lot of people. So, do we wait or do we start? Apurva, how do you want to take this?
No, sir, you can start, and in last 10 minutes, there will be Q&A session. Last 10 minutes will be interactive. So in last 10 minutes, these students will ask you the question.
All right, sure.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Rishi Karthik, and interesting fact about myself, I am from Baroda also. So I have been a part of Baroda for the majority of my life before I moved to Mumbai, and it's a wonderful opportunity to be with you guys over here. And my seminar today is not just about how or where or why you would want to apply for an interview or what are soft skills. I would want to make you guys understand on how these things are important even when you're getting a job or you've already gotten a job. It just doesn't apply to you before applying a job or right before you are passing out of college. So this is not just for the people who are, even if you have got jobs, kudos, congratulations to people who have. Even if you haven't, not to worry. These are tough times and everyone understands what we have all been going through. So without any further ado, I'll start my presentation. Are you guys able to see the screen over here?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is the basic roadmap that we are going to follow about today. Uh, it's not too complicated, but it's required and it's necessary for you guys if you're going to be in any kind of environment where your entrepreneur skills or technology skills, whatever skills you might possess or you would want to acquire, it's required. All right. So I am Rishi Karthik. I'm Associate Creative Director at Fox Sports Asia. Uh, yes, it's a decent enough title that I've earned. What it means is I handle the operations that are happening out of India for Fox Sports Asia, which is Southeast Asia Pacific. It entails a lot of interpersonal skills that I would want to have acquired over the couple of years, and I'm still learning over that because in virtual interviews and is something which we have just come across in the recent months to be a mandatory thing before anything happened. Earlier, the system was quite different. I know things are opening up, people have started going out for work and all, but getting an interview job on a virtual call is very important in these times, given anything can happen tomorrow. All right. So, in doing so, the most important thing is how you are communicating. Communicating the tone is very important while making any presentation, while making any calls, getting on calls with people. It's not just it's not just about how you are going to do it. Also, there are a couple of things which I have noted down, which I would present to you further, which I will explain it also in detail on how to go about it. All right. Now, soft skills. What are soft skills? Soft skills are basically on how you present yourself and how you talk to people. As simple as that. There are a couple of aspects that I've covered. One is being creativity, persuasion, adaptability, collaboration, emotional intelligence. I know these are all high level adjectives that I've used, but if you allow me to make you guys understand where I'm coming from, it's going to be simple for you. First, creativity. Creativity is something that is very subjective. What I like or what taste I've acquired shows what I've been reading through, what I've been going through, how my life has come across in all these years, who are my friends, who are my influences. So, all of this culmination of that, what comes across is your creative output. That doesn't mean that if you come from a background where you were not initially exposed to good things or initially not exposed to a certain books or movies or technologies, softwares that you might have not learned earlier, that doesn't mean you cannot acquire them. That's the best part about it. You can acquire these skills. These are not something which you are just born with it. Some people are, and some people aren't. But this is something that you can work upon. Uh, Persuasion, I would say, is the most important element. And while I'm saying persuasion, it doesn't mean you nag a person to death or, like, keep making incessant phone calls or messages or emails asking what is needed or what is required or what kind of things are expected. Persuasion is a very simple and easy way of understanding what the other person's requirement are. If you understand that and if you are able to offer a solution to that, then you can persuade that person to sway your way. As simple as that. Adaptability is something which is like in the times of COVID have become the most used word across. Uh, we have been like how we are doing a webinar over here. If the times were different, I would have been to your university, standing across you and making this presentation. But such are the times that we are in a virtual scenario over here where hundreds of you would be joining and learning about things which you would have done otherwise sitting in a conference room or halls or whatever, wherever you guys are doing the seminars. Teamwork is something which is the most important aspect in this times. uh, you might have been a team player before, but how you are dealing with stuff in the present scenario, doing virtual calls, virtual meetings, virtual seminars, uh, getting things across, collaborating with people is very important. You guys might be doing projects over here which you are working on virtually because uh, times are not permitting you to meet at each other's place. So this is how you're working on. And all of this culminates into emotional intelligence. Very important thing that to understand that emotional intelligence is how you utilize the things that you have learned so far in a way which helps out the other person or your company or your prospective clients or whoever you guys want to work for. Think of emotional intelligence and equivalence of like IQ, it's only, but IQ is something where you are required to be understanding of things which are intellectual in nature, which are knowledge based. But emotional intelligence is something which you learn from experience and apply to in situations which might not have happened to you, or you might have not understood it, or you might have not learned it otherwise. Uh, so very important things that I would want to let you know in on that whenever you guys are presenting yourself in a virtual environment, make sure of certain things that will help you around on how to be more perceptible to the person that you would want to apply to. Uh, all right, so I'm showing you one amazing example of teamwork and collaboration. Uh, this is the fastest pit stop in the world, which was achieved by F1 Red Bull team. So what you're seeing in Splash over here is the car which has been stopped for 1.82 seconds. Imagine 1.82 seconds. The amount of time it took me to just say 1.82 seconds, the car came in, stopped, and passed away. A brilliant example of how teamwork and collaboration works in the making the racer, the rider, come to the positions that they are in. A single mistake by any of the crew member could be crucial in him or her winning the championship. So imagine 1.82 seconds. I would like request you, once this presentation is over, just to go on YouTube and figure out the fastest pit stop in the world by in F1, and you will see how amazing this is. So uh, this is a clear example of where I'm coming from and how you can collaborate in a team environment and how you can achieve results. In doing so, you would not be just restricting yourself to different possibilities, but you will also be in an environment where your team members appreciate you, and not just like be a part of something which you want to be. uh, okay, let me rephrase that. How you would want to be perceived is equally important in in terms of when you are in a working environment. So to present yourself in such a way and to win your team members confidence is really important in such a situation. Now there are three things that I would want you to remember if you have been through any of those things. You might have been to an interview, or you might have done a virtual interview, or you might have done a phone call interview. It's okay not to get selected. Do not focus on this failure. Why I'm saying this is, look at the times that we are all in. It's something which none of us have been a part of, not even our fathers, our grandfathers, an entire generation and before that have not been through such a system or through such a time where things have become extremely difficult. So it's okay not to get selected. It's okay not to in the first go itself. And I'm not being philosophical about it over here. It's very practical to get. It's very it's a human thing to not get dejected or feel sad about things. Yeah, take that time, half a day, one day, how much ever time it takes, but move ahead from that. Also, very important to show uh, how you are as a person and what your attitude is towards life is to, even if you're not selected, send a thank you note on a mail, send a email, or send a message to your recruiter saying thank you for the opportunity and the time that you have given. uh, Leaves an impression that even though if it's the guy is not selected, the person is not selected, doesn't mean he's being better about it. And everyone over here is professional. There is nothing personal or malice when a recruiter doesn't select you. Maybe your requirements are something, maybe their requirements are something, and you do not meet the categories. maybe they have found a better person, a person who has more skills and more experience than what you are offering at this point. But the most important thing is to not learn from the mistakes. Whenever you are doing an interview or post the interview, just go back and think about the things that you have said or you might have said. It's very important to know that this is something that you could have said it better in a better way. The sentence structure could have been better. Your answer could have been different, something different. Prepare yourself for the worst come worst scenario. So it's very important to learn from the mistakes that you might have done in a previous interview. You might have not gotten selected, but the idea is to learn from these. It's not just about you can, and it's very easy to figure out where you faltered. It's as and The most challenging part over here is to accept that yes, you made a mistake. Yes, you could have said things in a better way, and yes, you could have done things in a different way than you are doing at this point. So I would want to let you in on a whenever you are doing. I'll give you a very simple example. Last evening itself, I had more than 19 deliverables which I had to make to the team in Southeast Asia. Now, the challenge over here is that Singapore is 2.5 hours ahead of India, but I did not perceive this as a problem, but it helped. And where I learned from, what I learned from over here is what I'm going to tell you next. What happened is we had 19 deliverables, and there were some changes that were coming from the clients, and they were asking us to make a certain change in a certain way, which was taking a lot of time. Having said that, whatever time, how much ever time it took us, we did not realize that we are 2.5 hours behind them. So if I am working over here at 9 o'clock in the night, they're already at 11:30 in the night. So whatever things that I was supposed to send in Singapore, it went to them at 12 o'clock in the night, and I almost missed my delivery. Whatever things I was supposed to send them by 6 in the evening went to them at 12 in the night. But the most important thing is to accept that yes, there is a problem. Yes, we are working on it. Yes, whatever it is, I am. It's very important to let the person that you are in front of to let them know that you are capable of learning from your mistakes. It's very important to let them in on that. Uh, uh, very simple things that you might face, and you know how you can make these things work in your favor. Whenever you are approaching people over internet, let's say LinkedIn or Monster or Facebook or wherever you are applying, uh, in whatever manner you are applying, never ever use these kind of language in terms of looking for an opportunity to work in an amazing environment and to showcase my skills and all. Bullshit. Don't write something like this. People know that it's been copy pasted. It's I'll give you a it's as simple as saying if I'm selling a book and the book's title is Come By Me. So you know what I'm trying to say. It looks desperate. Don't do that. What you can do for the company and what's your domain expertise, try and bring that in a conversation. Try and ask the person you are having a conversation with to let them know that where you are coming from now. What have you done past? If you guys are freshers, it's very important to let your recruiter know what your skills are and how good a problem solver you are. So and I'll give you this really simple thing which guarantees guarantees an interview call. So for example, if you are applying for a sales job, and if you are whatever company that has been. So go to the retailer, go to the consumer, talk to the retailer about the products and the services, on how things are happening. Take it up as a project on things that you have realized, and make a presentation, make a small note, do something about it which shows physically on a screen to somebody, where you have worked on what problems the companies are facing at this point and what solution you are bringing in. Trust me, this guarantees an interview call more than anything else. It shows positive attitude, it shows an initiative, it leaves an amazing impression to the interviewer, saying, oh, this guy understands what my pain points are and is coming up with a solution, with a way to figure out on how I can do something better, how I can make my sales better, how I can market this product better, how I can make this code better, whatever it is. How can I make this UI better, UX better? Look at it if as if you want to be an employer of the company. If you are an employer of the company, what would you do to solve the problem? So solving a problem and posing yourself as a problem solver is extremely important when it comes to uh, giving interviews. More so important when you are presenting yourself on a virtual call. The person leaves an impression of you even before he asks you a question. So, or even before you open a mouth to answer. For example, if he asks you a question on why there has been a gap in between, so be honest about it. If you had got burnout from your previous job, or if you had taken a break, there was a personal calamity that had happened, there was a personal crisis that you were adhere to, try and connect with the person you are talking to on a human level. Be honest about it. Don't be phony, and don't e- ever put things on your CVs, or don't ever say things to the people which cannot be corroborated, which people can find out if you're lying or not. It's very simple. So don't do that. It cheeses off people, and it literally puts you on a blacklist with companies, when they try and figure out that this person is trying to, like, put things in round and round and round, gumafying, but not coming to the point and saying, yes, I had this problem, and yes, this is why I took a break, or this is why I was not able to do. There are multiple things. You might have relocated, you might have gotten married, there are so many things that would be in place, but be really honest about it. And trust me, it helps in the long run. It's also, you do not have to keep on like fudging facts or fudging things just because you want to get a job. Never do that on an interview call, or never do that even on a phone interview or on anything. Make your CVs as less cluttered as possible. And whenever you are sending a CV, also make a new CV almost every time the job title appears to be something different than what you have been working on. So showcase them what you can do, in how you can do. Even you have, if you have done the same kind of work, present it in such a way which makes them understand how you are important, or how you can be important in their organization. So it's very important. uh, so there are some interview questions which still all get asked, like, as simple as, tell me something about yourself. So how do you answer this question? Uh, at some point or the other, we all have, like, given this generic answer that I come from this family, I have four people in my family, all are in business, somebody is doing this, somebody is doing that. And no, this is not what they are asking. So be very specific about what you're talking. Again, giving the example, if you are looking for a sales job, so tell them that you are a passionate sales guy and you have been working in field of so and so, so and so. Tell them if you have been in college, uh, the amount of sponsorships, if you have worked on any fests or whatever you have been working, or in any project, the kind of things that you can bring in. You might have gotten a sponsorship for your college. You might have solved the problem in a different manner. Like, so whatever it is, try and bring your experiences and show them how you have made a difference over there and how you have learned from there. Not all the times that you might have solved a problem, but if you didn't solve a problem, you got an experience out of it. So show them. Don't say that you have never failed or you've never been in a difficult situation. No, that's not true. Everyone knows that people go through different situations, but be open about it. Tell them where you are coming from, how you have envisioned what you are, and how you are envisioning yourself in this company, in this organization. It makes them think as if you want to be an employee, and think of yourself as a consultant to the prospective employer, and how you are going to pitch into the business. Very simple thing. So think about the challenge the employer faces and present how you can solve it. And most importantly, if you have, if you're going to face yourself for the first interview or first anything, prepare yourself on what all things that they might ask you. If they have given you a set of kind of questions that you might be giving answers to, well and good. If not, majority of the time it happens that they give you questions which are ad hoc based, or which are your required work based skill required stuff, or they ask you to share experiences if you are in a such a in a certain situation. If you get uh, tensed about it, if you are nervous about it, or whatever is it, calm yourself down in a virtual on a video call or whatever it is. Calm yourself down. Whatever expressions that you are making, it shows very clearly on the screen, even if there is a twitch of an eye. So if you are nervous, it shows on your face. If you are happy, it shows on your face. Your body language is extremely important in how you are presenting yourself. So be calm, be composed, and be smart enough about things of what you are letting them in. So it to put things in in one sentence, present yourself as a learner and a problem solver. And when I say learner, it's very important in this environment when they are asking you of how you would bring in or what all expertise you bring in. It's very important for them to understand that even uh, if you are not skilled enough at this point, you're willing to make that commitment and you have started working on it. So it shows the kind of attitude that you're bringing in to any kind of workplace. So and to be really honest, how you how you present yourself is very important in how you bring yourself also. So and what I mean by that is uh, be authentic to yourself also. So don't just lie to yourself that yeah, I can do something like this, or yes, I can achieve something like this. Know your limitations also. So if there are things that you cannot do right now, tell them that this is something that I cannot answer right now, or if I can come back to you on this at a later point, because you do not have all the information about it. So don't faff about things that you might not know or you might half know. If you don't know about certain things, be open about it and uh, make themselves make if you put them yourself in their position, you will see how you are present, how you see yourself, correct, how they see you. So you will understand on from where they are also coming from. So a recruiter or whoever the perspective your prospective employer is, the humans who having said whatever done, whatever big conglomerates they are in, whatever organizations they are in, they are humans. So it's very human to let them in on whatever issues that you are going through, but not involve yourself too much, not deal in too much of letting out personal information right in the first go, but keep it professional and to the point. Let them know that you went on a trip, or why, how you had, how your photography skills helped you in achieving a good presentation, where it was more important to see how visually good the presentation is. So bring in your interpersonal skills, your foot, like any skill. It could be something that you might be a good a tennis player, a good table tennis player. You might be knowing how to play guitar. You, as simple as you might be knowing how to play good chess. People require people, employers are looking out for people who are just not uh, uh, looking at one aspect of yours, they are looking at all the aspects of yours. So try and bring a variety of where you are and how you can put those things in your workplace. So even if it's a small thing, like as simple as you can make a paper bag, and if you are in a stationary kind of a place where gifting in corporates or HRs or whatever, you might be aware of how to do things. So this brings in a new kind of a skill set, which they might have not understood, or they might have not been aware of, or something that you are bringing in which they can learn from. So it's not about just taking away from them, it's all also about imparting and also giving out equivalent, uh, uh, equivalent kind of an give and take. It's not just take from one end itself. Okay, just 1 second, I would like to take a. Also, I would like to, if you have any questions so far, just put it down in a chat box, or ask Apurva however you want to take it. Right. Also, while you are, very important thing, also wherever you are, whenever you are in an interview which is in a virtual environment, keep a notepad and a pen with you. Very important. It shows whenever they are telling you something, your recruiter has asked you something or given any information, and if you have a question regarding that, note down that question. Don't just come in that you have come over here to answer the questions of whatever they are going to ask you. Come prepared with questions which are relevant to your job profile, or which are relevant to your working environment, and ask them relevant questions at the time when they ask you, so you have something for me to ask. Or even if they don't ask, make sure that you ask them something before the interview ends. Make sure that they understand that you have understood your job, and which is why you have a question regarding it. They will try it live. All these things culminate to very simple one thing, that how are you perceived. How you are perceived is very important in any environment, be it on a face-to-face kind of a thing, be it in a virtual environment. If you have just come to answer me, and if you do not have any questions based on what you are answering, or based on what information I'm providing, then it shows that you are not interested, or you have just come here to say yes sir or yes ma'am. Whenever you pose a question, it makes them also understand that yes, you have understood what the job requirement is, so you have understood and asked them an intelligent question. So it makes them also realize that you are not just following orders, but you are also making a decision, and those decision making capabilities are very well required in a fast paced or in any kind of working environment. So whatever questions you are posing, always keep a notepad along with you, even if it means you can ask them that if I could note this thing down, if I have a question that I can ask you, I'm putting this down on paper. Let them know. Don't let them know, it's up to you. But make sure you write down a question, or if you have already got questions, then write it down whenever the time permits, or whenever your questions are over. Ask them if they can ask you a few questions, or if you can ask them a few questions about the job, the job profile that you are applying to. So very important when it comes to that. Uh, uh, these are 8 things that I have put in on which makes really a difference. Uh, So there are few things that I want you to keep in mind, and the list says it out very clearly. Test your technology beforehand. So if you are going to do a Google Meet or a Zoom Meet or whatever platform that you are on, make sure that your laptop is in proper has been proper charge, or computer has been the power is going to be there. Make sure that uh, things that you can control. Should be actually controlled. Make sure that people are aware if you are in a if you are sharing a space or if you are at your home. Make sure that people in your family or your family members know that there is going to be an interview, so to make not make unnecessary noise which would hamper the place where you are in. Or if there are some certain things which are out of your hand, before the interview starts, let the employer know that this is something which is not in your favor or something that you cannot control. So for example, I live on a main street, so the traffic noise keeps going and coming back. So whenever I'm doing a virtual meeting or a client call, I let them know that there could be a certain kind of disturbances, and in those times I would keep my mic mute, which makes them also aware that I'm not doing it on purpose, or the noise that is coming out is something which is not in your control. So whenever you're doing a call, when you are not asked a question, mute your mic. This because there are unnecessary noises which might be coming out. It could be as simple as doing this, or opening of a bottle, or whatever is around you, or if there is a fan which is running at a higher speed. So very important to test your technology beforehand. Whatever it is, your internet connection, make sure that you have a decent internet on that day, uh, half an hour before the actual interview starts. Wear a professional attire. Be prepared for it as if you are going for a personal interview. Just because you are at home doesn't mean you do not act professional. Very simple. Prepare in advance. So prepare in advance is not just for these things, not for the technology thing, but prepare in advance. Find out about the company also. uh, Prepare on how you are going to go by about the interview. Have a few questions in mind on based on what kind of jobs you are doing or what kind of jobs you are applying. Try and limit distractions. Again, the same, limiting distractions doesn't just mean uh, physical distractions. It could be as good as a virtual distraction. If you have a if you know that you might be expecting a phone call or something, please make a phone call or a message in advance, to not to be disturbed around the same time when you are having a personal interview or when you are having a video call or a video chat. It it's a basic common courtesy. It's not just for so put your phone on silent, like very simple things. And when I say use professional body language, doesn't mean anything like like this, or don't let them know that just because you are at home you are at leisure. Be extremely poised and calm. And it's very important to build a rapport right in the beginning of the virtual call or the interview that you are going to do. So you a very like simple example, if I may give, is to make and understate, be very how do I put it? Be very smart about things. If you see, for example, if from wherever I am sitting, there is nothing in the background. But if you see somebody who has a poster of, let's say, a Maradona, and if you know something about football, try and bring in some kind of a piece of conversation where you are talking about, oh, you have a Maradona poster, I have a Ronaldo poster. What kind of matches do you watch? Just breaks that tension initial in the initial bit itself. If there is a musical instrument, what if you see lying behind, ask them what are the music tastes right in the beginning itself, and tell them that, oh, okay, you play this. I used to play guitar in the beginning or in college, or I was a part of this competition, I was a part of this band. This kind of music is something which I also really like. So there is some kind of a common thread between you and the employer, which eases them also out. And as I said before also, be authentic. Being authentic is the key in killing at any interview. Whatever you are saying, however you are, whatever you have done before doesn't matter. What you are saying right now, or whatever mistakes you are accepting to, be open about it. Yes, there was a time where you might have made a mistake, or there was a time that could not you could not attend to something, or there was some professional lag that happened from your end. Accept your mistake wherever, if it has happened, but do not be in a way where just you are saying things just to please the other person. So it's very simple, and it's these people, whoever is interviewing you has been in the position because he has been a part of that organization or that industry for a couple of years, so they have an ample amount of experience uh, on how things are happening, on what people say, on what people give as excuses, on how people are being genuine and authentic about it. And very important is to follow up. If the employer has asked you that we would let you know by the end of the week, drop a courtesy email before the week ends if you have not received anything, that hey, just keeping things in check, if there is any update on it. But don't bombard them. This is very important to understand, that you do not bombard your employer with emails or messages that please bata do kya hua hai, what is happening, where am I standing. They might be going through a different process, they might be undergoing a lot of process. So if they have given you a deadline, and it's not necessary that they will adhere to that. So please understand that also, if they've told you that we'll get back to you by weekend, there is a possibility that they might have not gone through the entire screening process. But to follow up is very important, but do not bombard them also. They will come back to you and let you know that we are still in the process of doing this, it might take a little bit of time. Be patient about it. Like I said before, if it has not happened yet, it will happen eventually. But you have to be focused on the part where you are excelling and where you are learning, and not just the failures. Keep the failures in mind and learn from that, but do not dwell on your failures or your rejections or whatever uh, things that have been keeping you from succeeding in an interview, or anywhere on the job also. If there is a problem, speak to people about it. If there is an expert on the subject, go out, talk to them, understand where they are coming from, how they are doing things. Don't just be waiting about things around it. Be proactive about it. And while I say be proactive, it just doesn't mean that you do things uh, hastily or in a fashion which affects other people's lives. So if you are doing things, or if you're taking the onus of doing things, let them know that you are doing this because you are interested and you want to learn things. Don't just do things just because they have been asked to do, or because uh, otherwise there will be repercussions of if you don't do. If you don't understand things, and if there are questions which you might not understand in an interview when they have been asked, tell them that this is something that you are not aware of, but you will work on it, you will find out the right answer and get back to them. Tell them that yes, I did not know this answer before, but now that I have got some time to think about it, this is my answer and this is what I'm talking about. There are not everyone knows the answer ad hoc. You will not understand the questions which are coming to you in an interview because a, you are nervous, a, you have a lot of pressure coming to you. You might have gone through a lot of things, a lot of interviews beforehand. So there are a lot of things in your head also which are running, so you will be going through immense amount of pressure. So if you are not able to answer a question, tell them that you do not have enough information to answer this question, but work on that question, find out more information, and tell them, give out an answer to them, maybe via a message, or a make them just one page presentation saying, hey, this is what I was thinking and this is how we can do something better, this is what I've learned so far. And while I was researching, I also found that we can simplify our things in a different way. So how much ever I keep on saying this, it wouldn't suffice, but be a problem solver wherever you are. It makes people realize that you are here to solve whatever issues they are coming through. And it could be very small issue as letting your superior know that how to set up a printer, or how to do things which you might be aware of very simple, but it might be difficult for them. So if you are helping in nature, or if you are helpful in nature, it goes along a long way. So that's where I conclude, and I hope you guys understood, or at least got a basic understanding on how to go about things. Uh, at this point, I would like to, if you have got any queries or anything, you can just ask me. I am ready to answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, this, for this wonderful session. Some students have questions, so they will ask you. Yes, who have questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Hi.
Sir, sometime we get nervous while going on interview,
Could you
and
be a
because
little bit
of that,
louder, please?
yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yes, sir. Sir, sometime while going on interview, we get nervous, and because of that, we cannot able to answer a knowing question. So, sir,
Hmm.
how do we recover it?
Uh, See, it's a very common thing to get nervous about things and not be able to answer about it. If you are in any time, if you are in such a situation, let them know that you are aware of this answer, but and try and break down the tension. If you are aware of the answer, then take up a few minutes, take up a minute or two, drink a glass of water, compose yourself. Do not be in hurry to answer all the questions as and when. Your interview is not for just 5 minutes. Your interview will go on for a decent 15-20 minutes in a normal job environment wherever you are. So, and if even if it's not face to face, where if it's a virtual interview also, it's going to be so. In a virtual interview, the best thing is you are not facing the interviewer directly. You are in your safe space, your home or your bedroom or wherever you are. That is your safe space. So try to be calm about it, even if you cannot answer, but let them know that you are aware of this answer and you will get back to them in some time. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Next, anyone have any question?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, sir. My question is, can you tell me about a time when things didn't go according to your plan, and how did you cope?
Uh, okay. So I have also been in interviews where things did not go my way. It could, I'll, for example, my previous employer at Sony, they had asked me a certain question about a certain number of things which I might have done, and they cross checked it with the people, and they realized that I did things which I had already done, but I did not present them in such a way that this was entirely my thing. It was a project effort, or it was a group effort. So I've also been to a place where I might have not given out full complete information, but they have found out otherwise. So I apologized in front of them very clearly that this is not how I meant to give out the answer, but my intention was completely else. So there are situations where you are going to make a mistake, but own up to that mistake. Do not be that, no, 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 this wasn't my fault, I did not do anything about this. Do not be on the defensive. Be accepting. If you have made a mistake, be accepting as many times as possible. It is not going to make you a small person, but do not make the same mistake again. Do not repeat the same mistake again. Then it just forms a pattern that you are being careless about it. If there is a new mistake which you are doing, that means you are trying to do something else and a mistake has happened.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, hi.
My question is how to screen candidates' soft skills.
Sorry, could you ask that please again?
How to screen candidates' soft skills.
How to screen candidates for skills? First of all,
Yes,
you
sir.
should be aware of those skills on what they are coming to. If they are coming from an engineering background, you should be aware about the things that an engineering student would be aware of. If you are not aware of the skills, then you would not be able to ask them relevant questions. You'll be just asking them basic questions which are not according to the job profile. So if, and also if you do not have the information, whoever is a superior in the office, this person is going to report to, take information from them on what all things that are required in a candidate that you are looking for, and what kind of questions should be asked to them in the first meeting or in the first interview. So whenever it it an opportunity arises where you are not aware on what the skills of the other person are, or what kind of skills are you looking for, you will not be able to make the right assessment of how you are screening the candidates. So you should be aware of the skills and the expertise that are needed, and you should be aware of the right questions that need to be asked. For example, if I'm applying for a job as an editor in a company, you should be, and if you are interviewing me, then you should be aware of how editing happens. As simple as that. If you are not aware of that, you cannot ask me relevant questions, and I can say anything to you, and uh, come back to you as an answer, and you would not know if I'm saying the truth or not.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Good
Yeah. Hi.
morning.
Good morning.
Sir, can you tell me about what technical questions are asked in interview?
That completely depends on what kind of technical aspects you are looking at. If it's a computer engineering job, or if it's a coding job, if it's a UI based job, if you are applying for R&D in a pharma company, the answer is, it's not a definite answer. What kind of technical skills are needed is something that you should be, whatever your expertise are, whatever you are learning, or whatever you want to apply to, wherever your job prospect lies, you have to be aware of those technical skills. Technical skills are something which are not something very subjective. It's a very subjective thing. So if you are a coder, coding is your technical skill. But if I'm a writer, writing is my technical skill. So these skills are not transferable. These skills could be acquired. I could be knowing coding as well as writing, but that is something that I learn from. It's not something which I can just acquire.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Good
Hello.
morning.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, my question is about you.
Okay.
Can you tell me about when you overcome a significant challenge?
Okay. How I came across how I overcame a significant challenge, or what my significant challenge was. See, it's a very personal kind of a thing, and while I'm saying personal, in terms of, it's a very individual thing. If, let's say, I had a personal problem because I could not ride a bike, so that is something which is a personal challenge that I had, and I overcame, like, while learning about it on the job, kind of a thing. There was no other option but for me to take the two-wheeler and go. So it's a very something which is a problem for me, might not be a problem for you. So uh, that's a very subjective thing, and uh, it doesn't so whatever problem, to answer you in a more precise manner, if there is something that you feel is a challenge to you, or is a personal problem to you, that doesn't apply to the other person, but that doesn't mean that other person cannot empathize with you or understand your problem. You could be going through a rough time at your workplace, or at your college space, or wherever you are in. You might have not gotten good marks about it, but because that there was a personal challenge from your end, you could not admit to it. There were other students who did well in their exams, so they did not have that problem. So a very subjective thing when it comes to what a personal problem or a personal challenge means. So if you want a specific, if you can give me a specific example, then I can give you an answer about it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
A very warm good morning.
Good morning.
So, my question is that if I am a employee in any company and I had to work with someone that I wouldn't be compatible with, then how could I collaborate with them?
Very simple. Do you it's a very simple answer I'll give you. It's a five thing answer. If it doesn't matter in the next 5 years, then it shouldn't matter whatever happens. Your next personal challenge, if it's going to matter to you in the next 5 years, then make it as a problem. If it's not, then it's not a problem at all. This person you might be working with, you might be working with them for the next 6 months or next 1 year. Go out of that comfort zone, that, oh, this person is I am having a personal issue with that, or personal problem with this person. Whatever the personal problem is, having said and done, the professional aspect should not get affected. So even if the other person is not being professional about it, be professional yourself. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. My question is that if you're in an interview and interviewer asks you a question, but you don't know the answer of that question,
Mm-hmm.
so what will you do to handle that situation at that moment, at that immediate moment? What would be your response at that moment?
See, initially I would accept that I'm not aware of the answer. The first and foremost thing, you are not aware of the answer, but you can look into this and you can provide an answer to them, and make sure that you provide an answer to them at a later stage. Initially, accept that you are not aware of the answer, because of whatever reason you are not aware of this answer, but make sure that you let them know that you are not aware of this answer, but you will get back to them. If they want, you can get back to them, and make sure that it shows them that whenever you, if you are not aware of this answer, mail them within an half an hour, or within, like, whenever you find the proper answer to it, mail it to them that, sir, I was not aware of the answer back then, but here is what I think right now, and here's what. So it shows them how much of an effort you are trying to put just to get the job, or just to clear this interview, and put this thing in practice everywhere. Even on the job, if you are not aware about certain things, ask, learn about it, and then come back to saying that this is what I was not aware of, But hey, I figured out a way on how to do this and how to do things in a better way.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, anyone else have any question? No? Any student have any question?
No, ma'am.
No.
All right.
So just one minute. Thank you so much, Rishi sir, for this wonderful session. And I hope students have also learned a lot and they will remember this while giving the interview or when they will enter in the field of enter into this IT industry field. They will definitely remember this and they will get a lot of advantage after today's session. So thank you so much. And I would also like to thank my HOD ma'am, Mrs. Poonam Salvi, for giving me the opportunity. I would also like to thank the head of our institute, Professor Jatin Vaidya sir, for always supporting us to conduct such amazing webinars. And I'd like to conclude today's webinar again by thanking you, Rishi sir. Thank you for the wonderful webinar and thank you for giving us your valuable time.
Thank you everyone for coming. And if you guys have any doubts, you can try and connect with me at Rishi Karthik. So at any given point, if you feel that you guys are stuck or if you want a particular answer, if I'm not aware of the answer immediately, I'll get back to you. I'll find out an answer and get back to you. So Apurva, if the students or if anyone wants to connect
So
with
you
us,
can write your mail ID in the chat box.
yeah, sure. I'll give my email ID to you guys.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone.
Sir. Hello, Jiten sir. हेलो जितेन सर सुनाई दे रहा है